Hi, this is Bruce, the Last Nail, and I'm here south of Boulder, near South Boulder Creek, along Highway 93. And I've got my buddy today with me, Bert the Owl, who is kind of hanging around like a Christmas ornament, because he is a Christmas ornament. So we're going to go see some fall color. It looks like it's at peak time, the beginning to the middle of October. Come along for a walk with me. So this trail is officially called the South Boulder Creek Trail. So here I'm looking back to the trailhead. So this morning I decided I want to get out here because it's a relatively clear day. Even though you see quite a few clouds, there's really not that much smoke coming here, and I've noticed the wind is moving from the southeast to the northwest, and the fires are northwest of here. In fact, I think there's one that's still burning in near the border of Colorado and Wyoming. So it's really turned out to be a nice day, and the colors here are just pretty amazing. Here's some of our favorite little critters here, prairie dogs. And it looks like I'm right in the middle of a whole community of prairie dogs. That's kind of how they communicate when they jump up like that. They're just talking to each other, making sure they're pretty much used to people, but they're just making sure that there's not any coyotes and bobcats and, let's see, falcons and hawks flying around, because to those types of predators, they're kind of number two, at least number two on the food chain. Here's a little, I don't want to say a little shed, but here's a shed over here. Now, we're just south of what they call the South Campus at the University of Colorado, south of Table Mesa. Now this right here is a real interesting bridge. I've gone on quite a few hikes in this area with one of my meetup groups, a group called the Gray Wolves. And the hike ends up being about 2 miles to Highway 36, and of course 2 miles back. But over here to the right is this tree. Not really sure what kind of a tree it is. I don't know if it's a cottonwood or a dogwood. But at the base of that tree on one of these hikes, I was standing against the railing at the right about 2/3 of the way down, and I was looking right at the base of the tree. And at that base of the tree, which is probably about 20 feet away, was a bobcat. And it was crouched down. No doubt it was probably looking at some of the prairie dogs, maybe for lunch or dinner. But I am telling you, I looked right at that bobcat, and it was so well camouflaged, I didn't even see it. I did see a photograph of it later on Facebook. And there's the tree where the bobcat was laying, and right where that branch is sitting across, about 2 feet below that, there's a little ledge that you can see, and that's where the bobcat was laying. And again, I am telling you, I didn't see that bobcat at all. It was so well camouflaged. We did have some other people that did see it. So here's a sign, no fishing allowed on university property, land under reclamation, stay on established trails. So we'll be doing that. For the most part, I'll probably be going off trail a bit when we get over to Boulder Creek. But this is University of Colorado open space. I'm starting to enter more open space, and I'm looking at the southwest. I'm going to pan right, and we're going to take a look at the fall foliage with the flat irons in the background. The flat irons are what Boulder is famous for. Now, I don't know how well you can see this, but to the right at the Flatirons, there's a group of buildings there. Well, that is, we call it NCAR, And I was up there about a little over a month ago when we had that snowstorm. And NCAR is the National Center for Atmospheric Research. Can actually see some runners. Nice day to be out running. As I said, the wind is kind of going, now it's coming in from the north a little bit, but it's still pretty clear out. Either a big, I would imagine this is either a big cottonwood or a big dogwood. But you see a lot of these around here. You start seeing these big cottonwoods or dogwoods around here as we get closer to Boulder Creek. So I'm kind of going downstream on Boulder Creek, because if I go upstream, the sun is reflecting off the water, and I don't have a polarizer or anything. So I will say one thing today, in addition to how beautiful it is, there aren't any mosquitoes out, so I think we're past the mosquito season. The last time I was out here, just after I first got this camera, boy, they were just feasting on me up creek a ways. Sometimes these trees, they grow and get so old that here's an example of the tree right near the trunk growing around a rock. Now this is a dark red rock. At some point it was part of the Rocky Mountains, probably part of the Flatirons that got moved down here by the course of Boulder Creek over probably hundreds of years. I'm looking north towards Highway 36, or it's called the Boulder Turnpike, and you can see near the mountains a layer of brown. That's what we've been breathing for probably about the last at least 2 weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and it's from the fires that have been occurring up north of here. And as I mentioned, the wind is generally blowing in from the south, so we're getting a respite here. And this is really, I think, the most beautiful day we've had since autumn started on, about September 21st. Well, hi, this is Bruce, the Last Nail, and that's going to do it for today's walk through South Boulder Creek Trail to see the creek itself and to see the beautiful fall color today. So it's time for me to wind up and move on. And if you see it fit that you want to continue to see videos like this, please go ahead and press subscribe. I would appreciate that. And thank you for coming along for the walk. Goodbye.